A Russian citizen is behind bars tonight on felony money laundering charges. He's accused of running a multi-million-dollar government fraud scheme out of the state of Texas. Now, CBS Texas I-Team first exposed the alleged operation last month. And now the federal government is rolling out this big nationwide freeze in an attempt to rein in Medicare fraud. Tonight, investigative reporter Brian New returns to the Austin Medical Supply Company at the center of all of this. And what he found raises even more questions.
We came to check out an office inside this building, one tied to a federal fraud investigation. With key court records sealed, we still had questions. But we had barely stepped inside.
No, you're not allowed.
When the building manager cut us off.
Because we have private businesses in here, we don't allow cameras and such in the building.
But that explanation only made what we found next all the more revealing.
Welcome to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I thought this was an interesting story. This guy, he's a Russian gangster. He ended up buying a Medicare, Medicaid branch, some kind of medical center, and he bought it, right? So the next month, right? This place went from making hardly anything to the next month he billed over $30 million. $130 million a month, okay? And this went on for months and months and months until they caught him. But this is Texas, so guess what? He is being charged. He is not getting away with this. They found the fraud, and I always talk about this. California, Minnesota, you're not gonna find fraud unless you send independent reporters in there, unless you send the feds in there. But in Texas, I always see fraud being busted. If you notice on my old channel, this channel, a lot of the fraud videos that I post are of Texas and Florida, and you would think more stuff happens there. No, less stuff happens there. It's just whenever stuff happens, they actually prosecute them. You got people like Byron Donalds in Florida. You know, he doesn't play. If he's gonna have anything to do with it, then these people are gonna pay for it. So that's the thing. People could say what they want. Oh, well, Texas has, I always see news reports of Texas and Florida. Well, that's because they're actually doing the job and they're actually busting people and holding people accountable. But anyways, this story is crazy because this guy stole a lot of money. And I know the first clip didn't show you much, but check this out.
On Monday, President Trump signing an executive order to establish the task force to eliminate fraud, saying every state will be held accountable.
It seems that it's usually in blue states. If it's in a red state, we're going there too. But it seems that it's heavily Democrat.
Led by Vice President J.D. Vance, the task force aiming to coordinate a government-wide strategy to do two things.
Stop the fraud in the American taxpayer and make sure that the benefits that ought by right go to American citizens and not to fraudsters.
One state the administration is already circling is California. Dr. Oz, who leads the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, claiming earlier this year a preliminary audit found billions in federal Medicaid funds were allegedly misspent by the state on health care for undocumented immigrants.
In California alone, we already have $1.3 billion that they're actually paying us back on because they know they're ripping off the federal taxpayer.
And just last week, Oz also responding to a CBS News examination of federal data that found over 700 of the roughly 1,800 hospices in Los Angeles County trigger multiple red flags for fraud as defined by the state.
To take half the hospices in California, the ones that are illegitimate, based on the criteria we've been discussing today, and take away their ability to bill us.
So after the building manager told us our cameras weren't allowed inside, I was able to go back in and knock on the office door. And the moment it opened, and I'll admit I was taken back, inside were the two women that we met a month ago. The ones that insisted they knew nothing about a multi-million-dollar Medicare fraud investigation.
Oh, wow.
So this is all news to you?
Yes. I did not know.
But today, it appeared as if they were stuffing what looked like medical records into large black trash bags.
Oh, wow.
I asked them if someone had told them to do this. They would not answer, and then asked if I...
They must have learned that from the Somalians, you know? When the going gets tough, just get rid of the records, like the dude in Minnesota did. They broke into it and took nothing but our records. What do they want your records for, bro? They'd rather steal those $3,000 glasses you got on before they steal your records. But anyway.
Leave. For Centurion Superior Medical, this wasn't the first red flag. State records show the company was quietly bought in September by a Russian citizen and almost immediately began flooding Medicare with claims. In less than 30 days, court records show Centurion billed for more than 75,000 urinary catheters, prescribed to nearly 24,000 seniors. But there was one major problem.
When I first got the notice from my husband from Medicare summary, it had the charges, and I said, "What the hell is this?"
Seniors we spoke with told us they never ordered these catheters, never received them. But their Medicare statements show Centurion, nevertheless, billed their accounts.
There were no doctors. We never went to any doctors for this. They just paid it out. Nobody checked.
Wow. No wonder they
Court
get
records
away with
put
this
Centurion's
shit.
billing at more than $134 million. And while Medicare froze payments, supplemental insurers did not.
That's
Investigators
1
say
month.
the owner quickly moved the money,
$134,000.
wiring nearly $1 million to Hong Kong. The FBI tracked Nika Machudazi from his Austin apartment and later arrested him.
Good.
Court records show the Russian citizen is also accused of running a similar operation in Florida, one that billed Medicare for billions.
And the connection there, they both got busted. Both states busted them. Florida busted them. Texas busted them. It may seem like, wow, they targeted those states. No, they busted them. This goes on in every state. It just matters on who takes control of the situation and it stops the fraud and who lets it continue. Go on.
I'm proud to announce the largest fraud initiative, anti-fraud effort of its kind in CMS history.
Days after our investigation aired, the federal government issued a 6-month nationwide freeze, stopping new medical supply companies from enrolling in Medicare. Dr. Mehmet Oz said cracking down on healthcare fraud is urgent, and it's costing the federal government nearly $100 billion a year.
These self-serving scoundrels, that's what they are, who rob our federal and state health programs, have decided it is worth the risk. We have to take these crimes seriously and treat them as seriously as if they were bank robberies, because they're more dangerous than bank robberies. People get hurt during them.
So we reached out to the Department of Justice and the FBI Field Division about what we saw inside that office. The FBI told us it could not comment because it's an active investigation. Machudazi remains held without bond in Florida on a felony money laundering charge.
All right, guys. Thank God they busted them. And like I said, Texas and Florida, you're going to see a lot of these convictions happen. California and Minnesota, not so much. But what can you really do? I'm actually glad that Texas took these guys down, or this guy down. Like, I don't understand how dumb you could be to bill somebody $134 million in 1 month and expect that you're gonna get away with it. He probably just thought he could make some money really quickly and just jet back to Hong Kong or Russia or wherever. But this is what they call fraud tourism, okay? You hear something from another place where you could go and commit fraud, where you can make millions of dollars, and then all these fraudsters show up from different countries where they can just make their money, send it off to a foreign accountant, and take off. Never hear from them again. This is what's happening to our money. This is why we're in debt. This needs to stop. If you haven't liked, like. If you haven't commented, comment. I'll talk back to you. I want to hear how y'all think about this. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.